Alright, Screaming Demons RC SDRC back in the shop again. We've got a review and install video to do. It's for the GPM, Team GPM Racing products. The plastic bushings for the fork tubes for the Losi PROMOTO. When I got my bike, the forks had a bit of slop to them, these bushings. And as I continued to abuse my bike and jump it off big jumps and do front flips and all sorts of stuff, testing the bike, see what it could handle. I noticed the front forks were getting sloppier and sloppier, and I knew what it was because I ride and work on full-size dirt bikes, so I knew what was going on in the shocks, or the forks, sorry. It was the bushings that were wearing out, and that's these bushings here. These are the GPM ones. And they look pretty much just like the stock ones. Here's a stock one. I got it in a bag here. I've already taken the shocks apart, as you can see. And I've already drained the stock fluid out of the shocks, which was 45 weight fluid. I installed 40 weight fluid, shock fluid. So these are the stock ones right here, the bushings. These are the shiny black ones you can see are the GPMs. Now when I put them on the shock shafts here, this is the shaft that they ride on right here. You put them on here, they kind of, you can see my fingers rocking it back and forth. Okay, that's, you know, that's the slop that the stock ones got. And they're kind of sloppy from brand new too, but they got worse over time, definitely. And then, now I'll show you what the GPM ones are like. Now, they seem to have almost as much slop. So we're going to have to get this bike we'll get these installed, get it all put back together, and then we're going to have to see if they're any better. Now, if they're not any better, I've already been talking to one of my good friends that's in the crew, SDRC crew, Michael Funk, and we were talking about designing our own set of bushings for these. So we're going to test these ones out, then we're going to do some tests on some other materials and make up some new bushings, because I don't think we're going to be happy with these. And yeah, I can't tell you too much about that, but we're going to be doing some testing and maybe come up with our own set of bushings for these. So I'll keep you guys informed about those. But let's get these put in. What else did I do to these forks while I had them apart? I obviously cleaned everything. On these forks, let's see if we can see this here. In the centerpiece right here, there is two spacers. Those are for your ride height preload, the preload on your springs. Now, when they come stock, these bikes come with 6 millimeters of preload. I've installed an extra 2 millimeter spacer, which each spacer on this, 4 millimeters here, 4 millimeters here. In total, 8. They come with stock 6. I've added 2 because my bike has a lot of aluminum, extra weight. So I wanted to add some extra preload. Now, I live in Canada. The temperatures aren't as warm here as, say, California, where a lot of these bikes were probably designed for. So I opted to go with a 40 weight oil instead of a 45 weight oil. Get those forks operating just a little bit quicker for our colder temperatures here in Canada. And I'll test that. If I don't like it, I can always change it. But that's what I'm set up right now. 40 weight shock oil and 8 millimeters of preload. So that's what I'm going to do my forks like. We'll get these bushings put in. I'm not going to weigh them or anything because they probably weigh pretty much what the stock ones were. These aren't performance parts in that way for saving weight or anything like that. So let's get these put on. I'll give you any tips that I have for these as I go. So let's get her done. Okay, I just wanted to show you that this fork tube still has the black bushing in it. You can see well, you can kind of see it. It's in there. There's that black bushing. It sits right in there. This is the side with the O-ring, the orange O-ring on it at the bottom. So to get it out, let's see if I can pop it out. Hey, popped it right out with my finger. Just stuck it in there and popped it out with my finger. Perfect, because the last one was a little harder to get out. So these, you can't really tell if they look worn at all. They look pretty good, but it's plastic, so it's hard to see if they're worn. You can't see if they're ovaled at all. That's not noticeable. So we're going to put this here in our spare parts bag in case we lose or break a bushing, fork bushing, and we need to replace it with a sloppy stock one. At least we've got a sloppy stock one to put in. So okay, I've got both the fork tubes clean now. So you just simply insert these new bushings in. They should fit nice and smoothly. Well, I haven't test fit them. They seem a little tight. So let's get them in. Let's see, they go in this way better. Let's flip it over. Maybe they go in the other way better. Maybe they need some lubricant, or you just need to pop them in. Maybe by popping them in, they tighten them up. I highly doubt it. Once you get them in, though, they're going to be in there. Let's try this. Little piece of plywood here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and push the tube. Maybe I'll put a little bit of lubricant on that there. Well, there's definitely some lubricant. There we go. Making a right mess. Making a right mess, bud. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm just going to stick it down on top of this, on this hard surface. Yeah, there we go. Pushed her right in. Look at that. Nice. Simple. Done. Well, hopefully by how tight they fit into there, they fit into the fork leg fits better. Okay, let's get them both done. Get the other one done. Bit of lube on that. Oh, this tube of grease is so new, almost pulled the plunger out the end. This grease here I'm using is, hold on one second, I will show you who makes this. I can tell you, I guess, first. It's Jim's Bearings. It's good stuff. There we go. Jim's Bearings, waterproof grease, axles, bearings, gears, www.jimsbearings.com. Go get them. They got all sorts of stuff over at Jim's Bearings. Jim's Bearings, that is. Tell them I sent you. We're going to put that other bushing in. Let's put it just how we did the other one. Put it down on the bench there. Make sure we're on the camera. Just nice and easy. Slide it in. Boom. Perfect. Give it one last little snug. Oh yeah, she's in there good. Put a bit of grease on here. Because why you want to put grease here, you want to grease this so it lubricates and keeps the bushing lubricated. And this shaft here. You don't have to put a bunch, but just a bit. That way it'll lubricate the bushing. And same here. This is another bushing. You can see right there. That's a rubber bushing or plasticky rubber. So you want to go all the way around that and give that some, just a bit of grease on that. And that will keep everything sliding good. And that's not just my recommendation. That is recommended from Losi directly. So that's that. All right, we're going to put that on and we're going to slide that into the fork tube. Nicely like that. Try not to make too much of a mess. Okay, I had to loosen off the cap here, the fork cap, and pull the shock back out so that I could get this fork tool on the end of there and tighten it up. Boom, just like that. Oh, come on. It just slip around. Oh, okay, don't tighten it too much because it'll just slip off there. It is plastic. It's like a fork, so it'll pop apart. But I got it tight enough. Good. Now slide the fork and the shock back through. Tighten up the cap by hand. Put on the wrench. Finish tightening that up. Take your dust seal. Slide that over there. Pop it onto the groove, into the groove, and that should be good to go. So now we can wipe off some of the excess grease that would be on this from installing that there, and this shock should be good to go. Nice. Feels good. Right on. Feels a little better than it did before. Now let's see if we got any of that. Oh yeah. Okay, it did remove some of the play, some of the slop I was feeling in there. It did remove some of it. So okay, that's not too bad. I'm thinking though, definitely I'd like them tighter. let's get this other one done. I guess I don't really have to show you how to do this one. It's the exact same setup we're going to do on this one. So 1 minute. All right, we've got both the forks done now, and they're ready to install the fork lugs and the sliders on. So I just got to do that. All right, the forks are completely ready to install on the bike. Okay, just so everyone knows, I've already added Loctite to the screws. I've taken them out, cleaned them, added Loctite to them. They're ready to be tightened. You should always add that Loctite, unless you want your parts coming loose. Losing screws. That's no fun. Alright, now for the other fork. Slide that into the triple clamps, right to the top until it stops. Straighten your fork out, put all your stickers where you want them. And this time, yes, I'm going to use my my screw gun, because I dug it out. So what I do with my screw gun is I use it, but I don't tighten it down fully with the screw gun. I like doing that with hand tools, so I know exactly how tight I'm getting it, and I'm not going to strip any of my parts, because I can tell if it's going to strip, I'll know it. Okay, there we go. Forks are all installed. Have to reinstall my VITAVON caliper, brake caliper, my gold anodized brake caliper here. This beautiful piece right there. Check that out. Got to reinstall that, and I'm going to adjust my brakes and get the rest of this bike put back together, and then I'll show you what it's like at the end, and I will give you that GPM, the plastic bushings. I'll give you the part numbers for those at the end of the video. All right, there we go. There's the bike all put back together, looking great. I've got those front brakes adjusted nicely now. I had to get that done, the maintenance anyway. So those fork bushings, let's check out the slop now. Okay, so I can live with that. That's a lot better than they were. I'm still going to do some research, and we're going to make some really good fork bushings that eliminate as much slop of those forks as we can, because that's one thing I really don't like about RC bikes is the sloppy front forks that they develop. So we're going to try and figure out a cure for that, and I'll let you guys know about what we come up with. But until then, if you want to get some of these Team GPM Racing products, plastic bushings for the fork tubes, they're in black. I don't think they come in any other color, but that's what they come in. So the part number is, can you see that there? MX142SP-BK. So check them out. I got mine off of eBay. You can probably go to GPM's website, or you can go on eBay or Amazon. But check them out if you need to rebuild your forks. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully I helped you out and you got something out of that video. If you're not subscribed, please go and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. Throw me a thumbs up. Give me any questions, any comments you guys got. Let me know, and I'll talk to you again soon on the next video. Screaming Demons RC, SDRC. We're out.